Commissioner Beckles, can you unmute, please? Please hit *6. Commissioner Brightigam?
Here.
Commissioner O'Neill?
Here.
Commissioner Jones? Commissioner Jones? Commissioner Bowie?
Here.
Commissioner KLOPFENSTEIN?
Here.
Commissioner Tindock? Commissioner Beckles?
Here.
Recording in progress.
Commissioner Jones? Vice Chair DIEDRE Nguyen?
Here.
Chair Kim Nguyen?
Here.
And Commissioner Jones?
Recording stopped.
I have it on in my office.
Okay. Commissioner Jones?
How about now?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, we had a glitch and we had people running around tapping TVs trying to reconnect. Sorry about that. Yes, I am here.
Okay, excellent.
First up, we have oral communications. Is there anyone wishing to address the Housing Authority?
We don't have anyone in the chamber, Chair Nguyen. As far as callers, they can raise their hand if they want to speak under oral communications for the Housing Authority, if you just want to give me a couple of minutes.
Sure. Let's clarify one more time that raised hands for this portion is specific to the Housing Authority, not City Council.
We do have a caller.
Okay, let's have them queue up.
Caller ending in 957, please press *6 to unmute yourself. Please clearly state your first and last name.
I apologize. I'll wait for the council session, and please excuse me for this call. Thank you.
None.
No more callers, Chair Nguyen.
Thank you. Moving right along to item number 2, which is the reorganization. First up, we have item 2A, which is the selection of chair. And I just wanted to ask my colleagues if I would be able to remain as chair for this upcoming year. If there's someone who hasn't been chair that would like to be chair, I'm happy to remove myself or remove my nomination for myself.
Chair Kim Nguyen, I would like to come back to serve as the chair for Housing Authority. This is one that is dearest to my heart, as throughout the years, I have received so many calls from residents asking me to help with their Section 8, as well as raising other issues related to the housing needs. So I would love to come back to serve as a chair, if you wouldn't mind.
I believe you were chair right before me, so I would rather keep it for myself as it pertains closely to the work that I do on SCAG. But I would like to see if there's any other council member who hasn't served as chair who would like to participate as chair for the upcoming year.
Certainly, Chair Kim Nguyen. I totally understand it. If there's anyone who have not been a chair for the Housing Authority, I would be, or vice chair, would be yielding to that. To my colleagues, but since you are already the chair last year, perhaps we could switch.
Well, I've never been chair of any of the committees. So.
Will you be interested, George? If you would be interested, certainly Chair Nguyen and I would need to yield it to you.
I would like to do it, yes.
In that case, I would love to nominate you.
I'll second it, George. Councilmember Redding, I'm sorry. With that, City Clerk, will you please take a roll call vote to have Councilmember or Commissioner Brettingham take over as chair?
Commissioner Beckles,
Yes, I agree.
Commissioner Breitigam,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes, sorry.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowie,
Yes.
Commissioner Klopfenstein,
Yes.
Vice Chair Deidre Nguyen,
Yes.
and Chair Kim Nguyen.
Yes.
Motion received, 8 yes votes.
Chair Brettingham, would you like to take over the meeting or would you like me to continue on?
I guess I take over, huh?
Okay.
So we'll move to selection of vice chair. Do we have any members wishing to fill that vacancy or that position?
Chair Brightagam, this is Deidre. Can I make a recommendation?
Yes, by all means.
Yes, since I've been the vice chair for the past 2 years, I would like you to nominate Councilmember Kim Nguyen for the vice chair, since she already have working with SCAT and continue and will be a great asset to continue on housing authority.
Okay. Do we have any?
Could I ask a question? I would be happy to yield to vice chair, the vice chair to Councilman Nguyen. My question is, I am not in the chair or the vice chair of any committee this year, and I wonder if Councilmember Kim Nguyen, have you been the vice chair or chair of other committee? If not, then since you are already the chair of SCAP, perhaps you give this to me because I'm not the chair of any committee at all. And housing authority is, like I mentioned, is very important to me for my heart, because I would like to serve a lot of the seniors that have been calling me left and right over the last few years.
Commissioner Bowie, this is the only committee that I am on for council, and so I would like to keep this as one of the committees that I'm on.
So you are not the chair or vice chair of any other committees? No,
I gave up other positions so that other council members that hadn't been chair or vice chair could be able to serve.
Okay, in that case, I would be happy to yield to you, Councilmember Nguyen. Be happy to.
Thank you.
Do we have any other nominations? Okay, well, I'll second Commissioner Nguyen as vice chair. So let's call for the vote.
Okay. Commissioner Kim Nguyen,
Yes.
Commissioner Deidre Nguyen,
Yes.
Commissioner Klopfenstein,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowie,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Breitigam,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Chair Breitigam, Commissioner Beckles.
Yes.
Motion received, 8 yes votes.
Congratulations. So we'll move on to consent items. Items will be acted simultaneously with one motion unless separate discussion or action is requested by any housing authority commissioner. Do we have any motion to pull?
Move the motion.
No.
So we have a motion by PHAT Bowie and Commissioner Bowie, and a second by, sound like Beckles, Commissioner Beckles.
Yes.
All right, call for the vote.
Commissioner Beckles,
Yes.
Chair Breitigam,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowie,
Yes.
Commissioner Klopfenstein,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kim Nguyen,
Yes.
Commissioner Deidre Nguyen.
Yes.
Motion received, 8 yes votes.
All right. Move on to matters from commissioners. Does anybody have any issues they'd like to discuss or bring forward?
What's the pink slip policy under this mess?
I'm sorry, who is that just talking?
This is someone who,
That was the member of the audience.
Oh, I see, okay. Okay, hearing no matters from commissioners or director, we'll adjourn. The next regular housing meeting is going to be Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. at the Community Meeting Center, 11300 Stanford Avenue, Garden Grove, California. And we will go back to the council.
Thank you, George. We'll now call to order the Garden Grove City Council. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Breitigam,
Here.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Here.
Councilmember Bowie,
Here.
Councilmember Klopfenstein,
Here.
Councilmember Kim Nguyen,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Deidre Nguyen,
Here.
and Mayor Jones.
Here. May I please ask Assistant City Manager Maria Stipe if she's on to lead us in the invocation, followed by Mayor Pro Tem THU-HA Nguyen to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If everybody listening could please prepare yourself according to your faith. Dear Heavenly Father, please be with us this evening to empower us, refresh us, and enrich us so that we may work to achieve the best solutions and outcomes for our community. Lord, grant that in serving our community, we may also honor you. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic of which it stands, and nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, thank you, everyone. That takes us on to oral communications. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers present in the chambers?
Yes, we do.
also wanted to speak on an agenda item that's coming up.
I'm
so
sorry, sir, what is your name?
Brian
Brian.
is by law. I don't
Our
have-
first speaker is Brian.
Hi. Hello, City Council, wherever the heck you are. A couple items. I wanted to speak first. There was I'm not sure how this is done, but on the closed items, the closed meeting, I wanted to speak on one item on that, on the negotiations with the public service, safety, the police. Everything that's being done with Measure O to put more police on the street is a wonderful thing. I agree with it completely. In the negotiations, there's one thing. When I went to, I think it was July, had the meet and greet with the public safety here on by the City Hall. There was a handout that showed 3 positions that were training and doing stuff with our hotel partners. And the latest I saw on the website of the police department, I guess those 3 old boys retired or something, and there's 2 younger guys, and they say they're looking to fill a 3rd position. I'm wondering why. I ran Marriott and Hyatt's numbers for the, I don't know why we're dedicating resources for sworn officers that could be on the street to the hotel district. Why don't we do a non-sworn person? It's like 1/3 the cost of a sworn officer, right? And these companies, Hilton, even during the pandemic, bought back $1.7 billion worth of their own stock, And I don't know why we're spending this money to have sworn officers doing meet and greet and glad hand and training, and when we could put patrol another patrol on the west side and another one on the east side. These guys have budgets, you know? They have budgets for their own security. Their security guys probably make more than our public servants, which is kind of hard to believe. But so anyway, just a consideration, please, that if we look how we allocate our resources, that we could put another patrol unit on with 2 officers and having, I don't understand why we're doing training for corporations that are worth, you know, billions and billions of dollars and have their own ability to do that. I understand it's important that we get a lot of revenue from that area, to have the idea that there's less crime and well patrolled, but they have their own budgets to do a lot of that within their own internal stuff. If we put another general purpose unit on the west side, one on the east side, I think it's better for all the for the residents in the city of Garden Grove. So anyway, just something to consider when we're negotiating with the police union. You know, I don't understand. Are we contractually obligated to provide this extra service to these companies that we're already giving tax breaks to? You know, the Great Wolf Lodge, what we gave back $750,000 in tax revenues for however all that stuff works out. So anyway, just an idea.
Your 3 minutes are up.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else present in the chambers?
Yes, we have 2 other speakers in the chamber. The next speaker is Tom Raber.
My name is Tom Raber, and again, this year of 2022, I'm talking in front of 7 empty elected seats. Per the Brown Act, you're supposed to have a quorum in chambers. We do not. Where are the addresses that you guys are at, and as public are allowed to go there? April 27th of 1961, I was 26 days old. Our 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, did a speech. I shall play a part of the first part of the speech.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned. No rumor is printed.
Speaker, your 3 minutes
no
are up.
secret is revealed.
God bless America. What's going to happen next? It will be biblical.
Thank you. Terry, anyone else in the chamber is wishing to speak?
Yes, we have a gentleman here named Mike who wants to speak.
Hello, everyone. I'm talking about amendment of A033-2021. Am I right subject or wrong subject here? Am I right subject? I'm talking about the amendment. Okay. Again, my name is Mike. I'm here to oppose the amendment. As you see that our Vietnamese community, a lot of people oppose and disagree this amendment. But we make one big mistake. Today is January 25th, but on our flyer we make mistake. We put March 25th. That's why only I'm alone here. Suppose we expect 100 or 1,000 people here today, but we make serious mistake in March. That's why nobody here today. And also we email you guys, but we got return also. Their email system may have a lot of people text me. The email got returned. So anyway, I'm here to maybe represent our community to oppose the amendment. Number one, we oppose because lack of study, and I don't think the city council, whoever votes yes to move on the amendment, you guys haven't done any study. We would request, I would like to see what study have been done to come up with your vote strong yes. And I also heard from last the hearing, the city council disagreement each other or confuse each other. One is say, oh, this temporary now become the permanent. And we also work with state officials to investigate why you guys been hurried to implement this amendment in short period of time, and what study have you been done. We request that document to prove your vote yes, or we don't want you guys do by the feeling or by belief, but by the study. We let that. There are also some ridiculous. What could happen going wrong is right now you guys crying for a parking lot, but when we apply for more than one parking lot, you get denied. Say no, only one limited. So what is solution for the parking lots, and what is solution for the housing crisis? I would like to know that comment. Whoever vote yes today, or whoever didn't change your mind, our community would like to know your answer. Once again, we strongly oppose this amendment. Again, I'm here alone because we make a big mistake on the days. Okay, as you can see, all our Vietnamese newspaper talk about this amendment right now, and we make mistake for put the wrong month. Suppose today we would March. That's why I'm alone. Thank you. Please consider our voice, or listen our voice, our info to see if you can do or anything make changes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, anyone else in the chamber is wishing to speak?
No, we have no other people in the chamber. We do have 3 callers.
Okay.
Okay.
Please proceed with the callers.
Caller ending in 957. Please press *6 to unmute yourself. And please clearly state your first and last name.
Craig Durfee, Council, this is something on the item of 2B, consent item. I'd ask you to put a stipulation because there's over 100,000 children have been abducted, and there's been a series of articles of debris. It's very serious, and the last resolutions have never been modernized or had some formal letter to our representatives to address the issue. You have an opportunity, there's open window legislation to bring common sense and education. The Catholic Church in October had a education component, how to use technology safely. Back in the of 2018, Dave White did a story, a 3-part digital predator teen victim, part 1, girls share her ordeal and warn others. Common Sense program, Parkland, Pennsylvania, it's an often common sense certified program. Between our law enforcement grief and the hurt of the families, our school is part of that solution. And I find this to be very concerning to me. Of all the research across America, this council ought to take your letters to your Super Omberg and Janet Nguyen and make legislation to require common sense program and this type of education. The parents are not equipped, and law enforcement is taking the brunt of it. I ask you now, then none of this more resolutions that are treadmill, but actually get serious about this one and other ones for mental health and your green space, because we have a need for your staff to carry the message to those authorities you depend on in Sacramento and Congress to bring home educational components to avoid these crises. And I'm asking officially as an organization, Parents' Right to Develop Children, to do your job correctly this time, because this is a serious problem. It's been the breach several times. And I really feel compelled to say this because I put a lot of hours in research and nothing is happening in their community. And I'm asking George Bergenham and law enforcement to know how bad it is to lead the charge and be sure that I have an opportunity to suggest to you components of my research to Umberg and Jenny, while there's still February opportunity to put bills before, so you have done the best you can rather than just pass on a resolution. This is a serious problem, and I have the research. And I ask for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Madam Clerk, other callers?
Yes.
Caller ending in 122, please press star 6 to unmute yourself. And please clearly state your first and last name. Caller
Hello,
end-
Mayor Jones, Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen, and esteemed City Council. My name is Manuel Chavez, and I'm the Services Manager for the Orange County 2nd District Board of Supervisors, Katrina Foley. I have the distinct pleasure of serving the beautiful city of Garden Grove. I'm here today to give you 2 quick updates on upcoming items that our supervisors are going to focus on to the County of Orange. The first is to invite you and the community to attend our upcoming fentanyl town hall. It will be held on March 3rd at 9 a.m. at the Hall Administration, and will be joined by Chairman Doug Chafee and Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes. We know there's a huge spike of fentanyl cases, and want to make sure that we have accurate information discussed to all the community members and city officials. Furthermore, we're heavily focusing a lot on getting more residents vaccinated. So if you or anyone in the community of Garden Grove would like to have a vaccine clinic, please do not hesitate to call our office. We're happy to work with the Orange County Healthcare Agency to help facilitate a vaccine clinic. I look forward to working with each and every one of you to better serve the residents of Garden Grove. You can reach me at my email, which is manuel.chavez@ocgov.com, or my cell, which is 714-714-3122. Thank you for your time, and have a great rest of your meeting. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Manuel. Madam Clerk, any others?
One additional caller.
Caller ending in 600, please press star 6 to unmute yourself, and please clearly state your first and last name.
Hello, council members, Jones. This is Nicholas Dibbs. I am grateful to be able to call in when I can't be there in person, so I want to urge the council to adopt this as a regular policy, not just something that's going to be renewed every 30 days, but to allow those who cannot attend in person for whatever reason to be able to call in. So if you'll please make this I call upon George Bredigan, my representative on the council, and the other council members and Mayor Jones to make this a part of the normal process, which will improve civic engagement, to allow students and community members to call in when they can't be there in person. I think this is a valuable tool, and it should be done regardless of whether there's a pandemic or not. So that's number one. Number two, on wellness resources, you have the resolution regarding human trafficking. I've been putting that website to help stop human trafficking on my banners and signs. But as I've mentioned before, the city needs to have a wellness section on the homepage, or a section on the homepage where people can click and get wellness resources. So the resources to stop human trafficking, as well as to reduce exposure to blue light and the harmful effects of too much social media and screen time. These resources and websites should be posted and available on the city's website with a disclosure that they're provided for informational purposes only, and that the city itself does not necessarily endorse it, but you're providing the information for the public. So rather than just passing a resolution, have this information on the city's website as well. Thirdly, we have a shortage of skilled workers. The California Workforce Board and Chamber of Commerce and other entities are the business community and public agencies are very much aware that many of the students graduating from high school don't have skills for doing skilled jobs. So we need more mentoring programs. I think the city should be providing opportunities for internships, job shadowing, and mentoring programs for the high school kids. We still do not have a youth commission, and I think we should have this so that there can be community adults as well as youth serving together and having a youth commission to have mentoring programs, work experience, and opportunities for young people to get CTE
Caller, your 3 minutes are up.
exposure to.
Thank you, Nick.
How much time do I have?
You're done, son. Terry, do we have any other callers?
No, Mayor Jones, we don't have any other callers. We did receive 2 written comments in opposition to the ordinance for second reading tonight, ordinance number 2929, and that was Lantran Pham and Chung Bui. And that's all we have for communications.
Alrighty, thank you very much. We will now recess and go to other agencies. So we'll start with successor agency. Madam Clerk, can you please call roll for successor agency?
Member Brightigam,
Here.
Member O'Neill,
Here.
Member Deidre Nguyen,
Here.
Member Klopfenstein,
Here.
Member Kim Nguyen,
Here.
Vice Chair Bui, Vice Chair Bui,
Yeah.
Chair Jones.
Here. Alrighty, we already did oral communication simultaneously with City Council. Move on to consent items. Just receive and file the minutes. Can I get a motion?
O'Neill, I'll move it.
Second, Brightigan.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Chair Jones,
Aye.
Vice Chair Bui,
Yes.
Member Kim Nguyen,
Yes.
Member Klopfenstein,
Yes.
Member Deidre Nguyen,
Yes.
Member O'Neill,
Yes.
Member Brightigam.
Yes.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
Thank you. Any matters from successor agency members? Okay, seeing none, we will adjourn to the sanitary district. So I'll hand it over to President John O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We will start the sanitary district meeting. If I could just remind everyone, if you're not speaking, please mute. If you do speak, unmute yourself and state your name clearly. If the clerk could please call roll for the sanitary district.
Member Brightigam,
Here.
Member Bui,
Yeah.
Member Jones,
Here.
Member Klopfenstein,
Here.
Member Kim Nguyen,
Here.
Vice President Deidre Nguyen,
Here.
President O'Neill.
Here. Here. Thank you. I think we got everybody.
Yes, we do. All present.
Okay. Thank you. We've already held oral communication simultaneously with City Council. We have 2 items on consent. I'll entertain a motion for those.
A motion.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Councilwoman Klopfenstein or Member Klopfenstein, and a second, who was that from?
BRIETIGAM.
Me or George?
Okay,
BRIETIGAM.
okay, thank you. Please call the roll on that.
President O'Neill,
Yes.
Vice President DIEDRE Nguyen,
Yes.
Member Kim Nguyen,
Yes.
Member Klopfenstein,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Bowie,
Yes.
Member Brightigam.
Yes.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
Thank you. Any matters from board members or the general manager? Hearing none, we will go ahead and adjourn until the next regular meeting of the Sanitary District, which will be Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. At this time, we'll turn it back over to City Council.
Thank you, John. We will reconvene City Council, move on to consent items. It's recommended that items 2A through 2G be acted on simultaneously unless anyone would like to pull an item. Do I have any requests to pull or a motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem DIEDRE Nguyen,
Yes.
Councilmember Kim Nguyen,
Yes.
Member Klopfenstein,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowie,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Brightigam.
Yes.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
Alrighty. Thank you. That will now take us on to item number 3, commission and committee matters. And we do have a seat that we're trying to fill on the Neighborhood Improvement Commission. I did kind of softly poll the council on this item, and I would like to nominate Rosie Rubin.
I'd like to second that, George.
Thank you. Can we, any discussion, or can we go ahead and just call the vote on that? All right, let's call the vote.
Councilmember Brightigam,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowie,
Yes.
Councilmember Klopfenstein,
Yes.
Councilmember Kim Nguyen,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem DIEDRE Nguyen,
Yes.
Mayor Jones.
Yes.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
Thank you. That now takes us on to items for consideration. We do have a couple listed, so we'll go to 4A.
Okay, item 4A is the introduction and first reading of an ordinance adding section 2450 to the municipal code, adjusting and codifying council compensation. This ordinance is entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Garden Grove, adding section 2450 to chapter 24 City Council of Title II, Administration and Personnel of the Garden Grove Municipal Code, adjusting and codifying the compensation of the City Council. And City Attorney Sandoval is here to give the report.
Mayor, members of the City Council, following your discussion at your last meeting, before you is an ordinance that would adjust the compensation of the City Council pursuant to state law. State law authorizes the city to increase the compensation of the City Council by 5% every year since the last time the City Council had an adjustment in compensation. In addition, state law also requires that any adjustment in compensation not be effective until at least one council member is commencing or starting a new term in office. Because of that, the ordinance before you would do two things. Number one, it would implement the 5% increase since 1988 and adjust the compensation based on that 5% increase. And it also stipulates that the adjustment will begin the first day of the month following the date that a new council member takes a new term of office. Given that we have elections in November 2022 and the elections are going to be certified, or at least we're expecting that they be certified in December 2022, we're expecting that the effective increase, if this ordinance is adopted, would be January 1st, 2023. That is my report. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. The recommendation is for the City Council to approve the ordinance and pass it to second reading. It would be on your agenda at the next meeting for adoption.
I'll move to approve. Councilmember Kim Nguyen.
I'll second it.
All righty, motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem DIEDRE Nguyen,
No.
Councilmember Kim Nguyen,
Yes.
Councilmember KLOPFENSTEIN,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowie,
No.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember BRIETIGAM.
Yes.
Motion received, 5 yes votes, with Councilmember Bowie and Mayor Pro Tem DIEDRE Nguyen voting no.
Thank you. As we go to 4B, I'm going to hand this over to Mayor Pro Tem THU-HA Nguyen because I've been asked to recuse myself since it involves something specific to the mayor on this item. So go ahead and I'll recuse.
Item 4B is introduction and first reading of an ordinance establishing and codifying additional compensation for the mayor. This ordinance is entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Garden Grove, adding section 2460 to chapter 24 City Council of Title II, Administration and Personnel of the Garden Grove Municipal Code, establishing additional compensation for the city's elected mayor pursuant to Government Code section 36516.1, and City Attorney Sandoval is here to give the report.
Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen and members of the council, I did ask Mayor Jones to recuse himself because even though under the Political Reform Act, compensation from a public agency is exempt, is not considered income for purposes of the conflict rules, the FPPC has opined that if there is compensation that would apply to one council member different from the rest of the council, then the personal finances exception would apply. And because this ordinance would apply only to one member of the council, the mayor, it would be prudent for the mayor to recuse himself from this item. What this ordinance is proposing to do is to simply provide a $200 per month additional compensation to the elected mayor of the city. And it also stipulates that it would become effective once the regular compensation to the city council is adjusted. So we would also expect that this ordinance, the adjustment, the $200 adjustment or increased additional compensation for the mayor would take effect in January 2023. That's my report, and if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer at this time.
I'll move to approve. Councilmember Kim Nguyen.
I'll second it. BRIETIGAM.
Can we go, Terry, can we move forward with the vote?
Yes. Mayor Pro Tem DIEDRE Nguyen.
No.
Councilmember Kim Nguyen.
Yes.
Councilmember KLOPFENSTEIN.
Yes.
Councilmember Bowie.
No.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Yes.
Councilmember BRIETIGAM.
Yes.
Motion received, 4 yes votes, with Mayor Jones absent and Councilmembers Bowie and DIEDRE Nguyen, Mayor Pro Tem DIEDRE Nguyen voting no.
All right, thank you. That takes us on to item 5, ordinances presented for a second reading and adoption. So 5A, please.
5A is second reading and adoption of ordinance number 2929, entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Garden Grove approving amendment number A33, 2021, a zoning text amendment to Title 9 of the Garden Grove Municipal Code to adopt new regulations for 2-unit residential developments and parcel maps for urban lot splits in single-family residential zones in accordance with Senate Bill 9.
Thank you. This is just a second reading. Any comments or else a motion in a second?
I'll move it.
Do we have a second? Anyone there? Can we get a second? I'll second it, but I just want to make sure everyone is still on. We have a motion and a second, and roll call vote, please.
Mayor Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Brightigam.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem DIEDRE Nguyen.
Yes.
Councilmember Kim Nguyen.
Yes.
Councilmember KLOPFENSTEIN.
Yes.
Councilmember Bowie.
Oh.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Yes.
Motion received, 6 yes votes, with Councilmember Bowie voting no.
Thank you. That takes us on to matters, item 6. We do have one item listed. So item 6A is a discussion on proclamation recognizing the 40th annual TET Festival organized by the UVSA as requested by Mayor Pro Tem DIEDRE THU-HA. Take it away, THU-HA.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I put this forward because of the urgency. The TET Festival going to take place on February 5th. And I urge my colleagues to support in the proclamations because the TET Lunar New Year's is very important, and the TET Festival is part of the community for many years. And the UVSA has been hosting this for the past 40th, for 40 years, 40th time of the annual TET Festival. And especially the office of the UVSA also located in Garden Grove for the past at least more than 10 years ago. So I would like to move this proclamation forward, and I hope to have your support for my colleagues.
I would second it. It's an excellent idea. I would love to second it, and hopefully one day the Union of Vietnamese Student Association will move the TET Festival back to our Garden Grove Park. I would love that.
Thank you,
Mayor, members
Councilman
of the City
Pepper.
Council. Yeah, Mayor, members of the City Council, this is City Attorney Sandoval. Given that the festival is before your next meeting, normally these items are for the council to approve agendizing it for action at your next meeting. Perhaps you want to consider this as an urgency item and move it today, so that, I mean, it doesn't affect, city funds or finances or any other work by staff other than put together proclamations. So I think it would be acceptable and fine if the council decides to make this the final action on it.
Mr. Omar, so how do we do it? Do we need to make a motion and a second? If we do, then I would like to move the motion to make it an urgent items.
I think that let me clarify. I think that if the original motion were to include, as an urgency to be final action today, that would be sufficient.
Okay.
So, THU-HA, I believe you were the original maker of the motion. Is that change acceptable to add the urgency item to make it official tonight?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I wanted to make that change.
and PHAT as
to
the
second it, yes.
Got it. Okay, so we have a motion and a second as an urgency item to pass this officially tonight in light of the timing of the festival coming up. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Brightigam,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowie,
Yes.
Councilmember Klopfenstein,
Yes.
Councilmember Kim Nguyen,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Deidre Nguyen,
Yes.
and Mayor Jones.
Yes.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
Thank you. We'll now go around the horn for matters. Anyone? Mayor Pro Tem THU-HA Nguyen?
No, Mr. Mayor, but we have only one more week to celebrate Lunar New Year's. So I would like to wish everybody health, happiness, and prosperity as we're welcoming the Year of the Tiger, 2022. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Beautiful. Thank you. Councilmember Brightigam?
Yeah, a couple of things. Strawberry Festival is planning on operation this year. They are looking for sponsors. So if you are a business owner or would like to sponsor the Strawberry Festival this year, please send an email to info@strawberryfestival.org. I just like to, we have many ancillary duties as part of this dais. I know we're all going different directions. One of my ancillary duties is the West Orange County Water Board, which serves Huntington Beach, Westminster, Fountain Valley, Seal Beach, and West Garden Grove, particularly, because the pipeline actually only comes to West Garden Grove. So I was elected as the chairman for 2022. So just like to put that out, and we'll continue to keep our infrastructure and water as safe as possible as chair. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember O'Neill?
Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Bowie?
Thank you, Mayor Jones. First of all, congratulations to Councilmember Brightigam. This year's Lunar New Year's will be the years of the tigers, and it will happen on the first day of February. So the first day of the Lunar New Year's will be the first day of February, and that's a really good coincidence. So I would like to wish everyone a happy, prosperous, and especially health to everyone. On the second note, this year, Little Saigon Tet Parade will happen, and it will be on Bonsai Avenue on Saturday, February 5th, between Magnolia and Bouchard. And we are moving very fast. We have only 2 months and 2 weeks to organize and raise close to $200,000, which is the budget amount that we need for the Little Saigon Parade. It is a lot more expensive than previous years because of inflation, so we up it. A couple of years ago when we did it, it cost about $170,000. This year we estimate it to be about $200,000. And we are doing extremely well, but unfortunately, the city of Westminster have informed us that that we need to expect another $50,000 to $60,000 that will need to be paid for public safety. And so we are scratching our head with only 2 weeks left, and we need to expect to be hit by an additional $50,000 to $60,000 to pay for police and for road closure and so on. So we are hoping anyone who would like to preserve the a very rich tradition, anyone who enjoy the parade, please help us with $5 or $10, and please feel free to call me if you would like to have more information. we would like to help. We also need volunteers, especially those who are who have experience with CERT, emergency response team, because Westminster Police are needing volunteer about 5 to 8 people to help with emergency response telephone answerings. So anyone who have been doing that in the past and would like to help, please call me, 714-713-4079. That's my cell phone. And it will be in about a week and a half, Saturday, February 5th. So anyone who would like to join us to celebrate the New Year's, please come to Bonsai Avenue from Magnolia to Bushard. Thank you, and that's all for me.
Thank you. Councilmember KLOPFENSTEIN.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, it's a new year, and believe it or not, everybody try to stay in your seats, but I'm still your vector control trustee. It's been 5 years since I took on that role as a trustee, and I'm very grateful that I get to continue for the remainder of my council term. I try to have some fun with it because most of the time, unfortunately, the topics are fairly dire. And unfortunately, this time I don't really have that great of news to report. I know for me, this really hit home as we have a new puppy in the house. Mosquitoes here in our county have now been testing positive for dog heartworm. This hasn't happened in quite some time. And these cities where these sample pools have been collected are Seal Beach, Fullerton, and Huntington Beach, so not too far away from Garden Grove. Basically the same thing, just as with West Nile virus, the best way to obviously try and hold back the mosquito population is to dump and drain your water and just check your property for standing water. And so if you want more information, there's checklists, backyard checklists, the press release and everything is at ocvector.org, should you care to have more information. And then finally, I just wanted to make mention, February 5th is our next community cleanup, where we partner with Republic. And if you have old mattresses or an old couch or anything as you're cleaning out your garage, kind of early spring cleaning, and you'd like to dispose of those items, you'll be able to do so. This next one, as I said, is February 5th. It's in my district, District 5. And I believe you'll be able to find information online. I'll be sharing on my social media pages, and it will be at the Community Meeting Center this time. So again, more information on the city website. I think all of that is either live or will be going live tomorrow. And hope you can bring your junk and see you there. Thank you.
Thanks, Steph. Councilmember Kim Nguyen.
Just wanting to wish everyone a happy, healthy, and prosperous Lunar New Year. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. City Manager Scott Stiles, anything to report?
No, Mr. Mayor. I was just going to mention the community cleanup day, but Councilmember KLOPFENSTEIN already did that.
General Counsel, anything to report out?
Yes, Mayor. We did have 2 closed session items earlier this evening, and there is no reportable action out of those items. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And everyone, with that, we will stand adjourned. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night, everybody.